My second guy, I'm going with, it's not the sexiest pick in the world because, I mean, the position isn't a sexy pick anymore, but it is Aaron Jones. And I'm going to give you my assumptions with this pick. Number one, it's going to be a replacement for Kareem Hunt. Number two, I don't see Nick Chubb coming back till midway through the season. So I'm saying that he plays between 6 and 8 games with this. Also, based on what I've read, the leadership qualities, from what I heard, I think that's something that Andrew Barry, I was going to say Steve Stefanski, Kevin Stefanski, are looking for in the room, and I think he would go fantastic. And the reason, like I looked at this, I looked at these stats first. And I'll bring them up and I'll go over them. Like the guys came out in the same draft. It's just Kareem's slightly bigger, he's slightly younger, and he's slightly taller. But with this guy, he's faster. So I know Andrew Barry wants to get bigger, faster, stronger. Well, this guy, he was injured last year. I'm going to say he got stronger as the season went on. He, in his last 5 games, so the last 3 weeks of the season and the 2 playoff games, he went over 500 yards per game. And I don't know if you guys recall, but against Dallas, he was the main reason that they won. He put 3 TDs in the end zone, so he had a hell of a game in the playoffs. And the thing that we need to do is we need to stack winning seasons now, right? And I think being solid in the running back room would be fantastic for us. And the uncertainty of Nick Chubb and how he can come back from this injury, because we all want him on the team. But if he can't play, then he's no good to nobody, right?
Right.
And we need him to help develop the locker room, in the running back room specifically, Jerome Ford and Pierre Strong. And now the reason why I think he's going to get cut is because he, next year in the 2024 season, he's due $17 million. That is second in the league for running backs, only behind Alvin Kamara. So he's getting paid ahead of Christian McCaffrey, Nick Chubb, and some other awesome running backs. And while I'm trying to convince you for him to be on the team, the Packers, who are, I think they're 8.2 million under the salary cap, they want to build around Jordan Love right now, and they want to get some players, and I don't know if they want to move forward with a running back over 30 at $17 million a year.
Yeah, and I liken this to Dalvin Cook getting cut by the Minnesota Vikings last offseason, and then he went and signed with the New York Jets for, it was like $7 million, I think, and he didn't get used, didn't get a whole lot of playing time. The juice was gone, and he ended up getting cut during the season. But the difference for me and why I like your pick here of Aaron Jones is because we saw signs of the decline for Dalvin Cook in Minnesota. He still had a couple decent performances in 2022, I guess it would have been. But overall, knew the writing was on the wall. He wasn't going to be in Minnesota anymore. With Aaron Jones, yeah, he was banged up last year. He missed a bunch of games. But when he came back and got healthy, he went on that run at the end of the season and showed he's still got it. He can still go out there and produce at a very high level consistently. And they weren't using him in a timeshare role. He was the workhorse. They were saying, we're just going to hand you the ball as much as possible and let you dominate these defenses. And that's what they did, like you said, in that game against Dallas and everything. So he's capable of carrying a big load. You could bring him in a timeshare kind of role, leading the backfield, and then you mix in Jerome Ford. And if you have not seen my breakdown of the Cleveland Browns running back position for State of the Browns, go down in the list on the podcast here, back in the channel, and check that out, because I really do detail why Jerome Ford was so bad in the Browns running scheme in 2023. And a guy like Aaron Jones, who's got great vision, could really excel with the Browns.
Well, and here's one thing, and I'm sure you talked about it in the episode. In his run in the last 5 games, he had 14 explosive rush attempts, and that's something that we lacked last year,
big time.
And Packer Wire is like our ClevelandBrowns.com that's owned by the Packers. Packers offense is better with Jones on the field. So they didn't say the numbers are better, just the overall offense, and that kind of reminds me of Jarvis Landry. The offense was just better when he was on the field. And the other thing that we need is we did struggle with the run last year. This guy doesn't need big holes. He just goes through little creases, and he's gone. His presence opens up opportunities in the passing game, but I'll go back to what I said earlier. Great locker room presence. That's probably what will keep him there, but this is a long shot. This is something that I'd love for the Browns to have a certainty in that room, a viable option, and it will be a 1-year deal off the top of my head, because I think he wants to go play probably in Dallas, because he went to UTEP and he's from that area. Also, he was drafted by McCartney, I believe, when he came out. The other thing is I think Deuce Staley will love him. He had a couple stinker games, but if you pull out the pass blocking, you pull out those stinker games, he's a decent pass blocker.
That's what we need, especially when you've got a highly paid quarterback like Deshaun Watson. You want to make sure you keep guys off of him. You're going to definitely need running backs, and that's why Pierre Strong didn't see a lot of time on the field last year either. You can't be a liability on the field in the pass blocking.
Yeah, he's no good. No. He's got to get better.